I don't know, Siffrin is kind of a Kroot. Things that he eats become a part of him. Because he digests them and converts them into calories, and the calories are used to build... doesn't convert them into calories, he converts them into nutrients, and the nutrients are used to build his body. So that's like a Kroot. A lot of characters are kind of like a Kroot if you think about it that way. Hello! So our work is incredibly Slay the Princess coded. Well, it's a drawing taken from Slay the Princess. Someone just drew the me in there instead. And Grub. There I do go. Let me get one or two things set up on my end. This is always a pain to get it going. I complain about it every week, and every week I don't do anything. Details. Let's get this more. Gotta put it in gaming. In stars and time. Can we stash it in a playlist? Okay. I think that'll work. Where's my audio? So if you're wondering where Warhammer is, we're doing Warhammer Tuesdays and Thursdays and Stars and Time on Sundays. Last time, we defeated the king. We just straight up beat the game and won, and then it turned out, no. During our little victory celebration, we, oh god, 2 songs. Don't listen to double music. Warhammer, can I ask painting or lore? It was neither. We were playing Dark Heresy, the upcoming Owl Cat CRPG. He's kind of like Snufkin. His name's Siffrin. It's like a little dude. You can no longer hear Wormgirl very well. Yeah, I saw it. I had to, we had different volume settings for Warhammer because the audio in that was a little bit, I don't want to say wonky, but it was different. Commander. People always want to call you Commander in games. What's that about? Even in Dark Heresy, the ship's pilot was calling us Commander, and we're like, "Why are you calling us Commander?" He's like, well, you're not a captain, so I can't call you captain, but I gotta call you something. And like that's every video game where they call you commander, is like they don't have like an official military title to give you, so they just... Alright, so we woke up back in this field. And we can't really figure what, Sifrin had a bit of a panic attack, realizing that we might be stuck in this day forever. Sifrin, you're up. So I think we saw this. I'm sorry I woke you up earlier. Oh right, we scared her when we woke up. Sifrin was acting kind of weird. Because he was realizing that, it didn't work. Okay, Wai Chin, if you're gonna go. The game is good, I'll say that, so enjoy. I know you joked about it, but are you feeling better now? I'm worried. Well, this is new. Yes, don't worry about me. Ah, okay, but... You really have to talk to Loop right now. I have things to do, I'll talk to you later. Uh-huh? Sifrin, please wait. What now? Well, I know you're busy, but help me tell everyone about the sleepover. Can you come talk to me later? So we can talk? I'll wait in front of the library. Please? Oh. Okay? Okay. Go do your thing and then come back, okay? I'll be waiting. You nod again. Habit takes over and you tell her about the carrot method. Wait, how did you know about... And wink. Okay. So she gets adorable moving shield. That ability allows us to withstand, it puts up defense for like 3 turns for the whole party, but it also allows us to withstand the king's like best attack, so otherwise it just wipes us out. The carrot method is a craft memorization or use method that is like a when we finally learned the skill for real after jumping through a bunch of hoops, we asked her what we would need. She was like, oh, I should have known how to do this the whole time. And then we asked her what we would need to say to her to get her to realize that on her own. And she was like, that's a weird question, but you could just tell me to remember the carrot method. So that's what that is about. You can't talk to anyone right now. You have to ask Loop what they think. You ran here to talk to Loop, to try to figure out what to do, but you can't look at them right now. You can't. So... I beat the king. You did? Oh, stars above, I'm so proud of you. You did it. You succeeded. And yet I'm still here. Yes, indeed you are. They don't seem surprised. They don't seem surprised at all, do they? Did you know this would happen? I had a feeling, yes. Well, thank you, G-Man. But it felt cruel to tell you, so I didn't. You looked so happy and innocent and stupid. I just didn't have the heart to tell you. I just didn't have the heart to tell you. I knew from the start that the loops wouldn't end after defeating the king. Why not? I don't know why it didn't end with beating the king. I just knew it wouldn't. I never thought about the reason why I got this power. I just thought it was to defeat the king. That the change god, anyone gave me this power to beat him. But if beating him made me loop back anyway, I don't know what to do. So will you give up then? You're stuck in this loop, Stardust. Beating the king brought you back here. You don't know why. You don't even know how you got this power. You don't even know if there's a way to escape. So, because there's no clear way to escape, will you give up? Give up? No. You're fine, aren't you? Right now, you're alive. Right now, you can think. Right now, your allies are still here. Right now, you're not alone. There's no reason to give up now just because you're trapped. If you're trapped, find a door and open it. And you still have some doors to open, don't you? The head housemaiden seemed to know something was wrong, didn't she? Ah, I guess she did. She said something about something being broken. Failing? Did she mean the loops? The loops breaking? That's possible. Maybe the loops were supposed to stop after beating the king, but something went wrong somehow. And that's something you can find out. You just need to talk to her again, find out what she knows. And the king. The king? What about him? Something about his powers. He can freeze people's time and I can rewind time. Yes, that's... Both powers are related to time, aren't they? I don't think I've ever heard about anyone who could control time before. Isn't that something to find out more about? I suppose so. Maybe I just need to ask him. Ask the king? Well, sure, I suppose that might work. Talking to the king himself. I do wonder what he'd have to say. It's worth trying. And Stardust, I know you're not interested in talking to your party about the loops. So, you'll have to make sure to act so they don't find out anything is wrong. And you already failed this loop by making your housemaiden worried about you. That's true. With the way you woke up, she's probably worried about you even now. She said she wanted to talk to you, didn't she? You should talk to her this loop, see what that's all about. Add this to your list of things to do. There's quite a few things on it already. Find out more about the king and his powers to see if they're related to yours. Talk to the head housemaid to see if she knows more about the loops. Talk to me about this loop to see what's wrong. Might as well talk to everyone else after too. But see, as long as you have paths you can follow, questions to answer, goals to strive for, you'll be fine. You're fine. But why is Loop helping you? They appeared after you looped for the first time and said they were here to help. And they knew about the loops, knew this whole time beating the king wouldn't help. And they picked that name, didn't they? Loop. Aren't they related to the loops too? Loop. Are you really here to help me? Stardust. Yes. If you can believe anything, believe that. I asked to be here so that I can help you. Why? Aren't you stuck here too just because you're helping me? I reiterate, Stardust, I asked to be here. Don't worry about me. Being here is surprisingly restful. I'm here to help you any way I can, and I mean it. If they're offering their help, it'd be stupid not to take it, isn't it? To answer your question, though... No, Loop. I won't give up. It's too early to give up. I'm very glad to hear that, Stardust. Please don't give up, Stardust. If the loop started, they can end. It's just basic logic. I can guarantee you that you won't be stuck here forever. It's a loop guarantee. As always, you can count on me to help you. If you need a refresher or help figuring out where to go, I'll be here. I'm here to help, Stardust. You smile. Thank you, Loop. Oh my, genuine thanks. Gross. It's my pleasure, Stardust. In the meantime, how can I help you on this wonderful new loop, Stardust? Let's talk about something. Can we get anything? Nope, my turn. So, I'm sure you must have questions about me at this point. Theories about who I am, might be, that sort of stuff. Am I correct? I do. Of course you do. Loop's just too mysterious. Suspicious from head to toe. Of course you do. I'm just too mysterious, suspicious from head to toe. So, lay it on me. I'm so curious as to what you think. Who or what do you think I am? You're... I think they seem like a star, right? Like, they keep calling us Stardust. Like, maybe they're... Like, we're a product of the Big Bang, maybe? That's that, is that a Carl Sagan quote, that we're all stardust? Loop is the most fun character out of all of these to voice. Part of the universe. Yes, although I guess technically everything within the universe is a part of it. I am a star, after all. Plus, you're part of the universe, too. Everyone is. That's like saying you're from this planet or something. Nice try, I suppose. Better luck next time. Not like you'll get another try, though. I have a question about... To create an apple pie from scratch, you must first create the universe. Yeah, I think about that a lot when I'm coding. Because, so, like, someone was like, they were like, I wish farming worked better in the game, and so do I. And it's like one of the projects I want to make, but like, to make farming work better, plants in the game are technically an object that is a type of object that is called furniture. And currently, furniture does not store any information. It has no way to do so. So, if I want to make a plant that, if you want to make a farming system that like properly accounts for precipitation and manual watering and pests and blight and soil quality and potassium, nitrogen, and phosphorus and temperature and all of that, that information needs to be stored somewhere, and ideally you do it inside the object itself, right? But since furniture can't store that information, I would need to rewrite one of the basic parts of the game to allow it to do that. And it's like every single little thing you want to do in code sometimes just turns into this like wild goose chase. And it actually kind of reflects what playing that game is like. Like you'll be like, oh, I want a sword. Well, if I want to make a sword, I need an anvil and a forge, and I don't have those things. And to get them, I'm going to need like an angle grinder and a hacksaw. And I don't have those things. And I know where I can get an angle grinder, but I have to fight a bunch of zombies to get to it. And to fight them, I'm going to need a gun. And to get that gun, I'm going to need to go into the police department. And to get into the police department, I'm going to need like a stick, or like a staff or something. Like it just keeps going. So at the end, Isabeau never told us what he was feeling, like what he wanted to say. And also the king said something about having a regret about never saying something, which is a little bit suspicious. So let's look at Isabeau first. The thing he said he'd tell you at the end of your journey. He mentions he wants to tell you something when you go to sleep at the clock tower. Well, that's probably it. But someone interrupted him just as he was about to tell you. How unfortunate. If only there was a way to make sure he wouldn't be interrupted. Maybe you'd finally get to hear what he has to say. If you talked to Bonnie beforehand, maybe. And there's this book fan. The man living in the house full of books. He seems to be really into that book series your housemaiden likes. The Cursing of Chateau Castle, right? Didn't the last issue come out right as the King's Curse started freezing Vogard in time? Might be hard to find. If you find any issues, you should remember the issue number and tell him. Maybe you might end up finding the very last one. So we asked about the knife already. The key knife, and we need a whetstone for it. We need to find a sharpening stone. Bonnie was looking at a book. I think we asked about this as well. Okay, so we could have that conversation with Bonnie again about burial rites, but like Cyphrin is like not able to work himself up to doing it. Actually, no. We actually can't pick. Let's talk about something. Okay, I've got an idea of what to do. Good luck, Stardust. Loop waves you goodbye excitedly. You wave back. Michael Piter says, what about creating a new object such as a plant and giving it the descriptors and stuff you want? Yes, but that would require, so the architecture to put the furniture object in the game is not insignificant. It's like a couple hundred lines of code. A lot of it is very low level, and coding low level means that it's like more abstract and more difficult to understand. High level is like the simple stuff that anybody could work on. It's you think about digging down, not building up. So like it's very low level, hard to get to, hard to mess with, hard to implement. Whereas just piggybacking off of the existing furniture system might be easier. Oops. But it's one of those things where I'm going to have to mess around a lot and probably learn many things in the process. Yeah, it's kind of foundational to how the game is built, and it's one of those things where if you mess with it, you can really badly impact performance in unanticipated ways because of how the game treats these different objects. There's a lot of like economy built into, especially a game like that where it has a lot of things going on at once, because it's got to be like, you know, hundreds of zombies on screen and all this, and so a lot of the basic things in the game are designed with extreme economy in mind for optimization. And if you just come in there like only thinking about the result you want and not focusing on like the kind of maintaining a good kind of like workflow for the computer to get through, then you can create a lot of lag and other issues. Mirabelle's here, sitting on a bench and looking at papers. She wanted to talk to you, didn't she? Oh, Sifrin. Sorry to bother you while you're so busy, but I really wanted to make sure you're okay. You tell me if anything was wrong, right? Where's this coming from? Of course I'd tell you. Sifrin, I'm not sure you're telling me the truth here. I don't want to force you to do anything, but you know I want you to be happy. And I know this is a stressful moment for all of us, but the only way we can get through this is if we talk to each other, if we share our worries. So, I guess what I'm trying to say is, if you need help with anything, I'm here for you. Okay, weird. Why is she telling you this? You know why she's asking you this. Poor Mirabelle just can't say it. You'll have to do it for her. Clearly what's happening is, do you need help with something? Huh? No, that's not what... Mirabelle, at you. Sigh. You can be such an oblivious person sometimes. Anyway, and she sighed and called you names. Who is this? Don't need help. Not at all. Okay, now that's a lie. Not even with these papers of yours. She's been looking at those for every loop you've been in. Clearly there's something wrong with them. You poke the papers to make your point. Huh? No, not at all. Do not look at the papers. The papers are irrelevant. Do not look at them, Sifrin. I see you looking at them. You arch your eyebrows, smiling. Alright, yes, the papers are giving me a lot of trouble and I hate them. But I'm only looking at them now, not to get worried about something other than tomorrow. They aren't that big of a deal. If I had to be worried, I'd rather be worried about the thing that won't kill me. There's even more in my dorm room in the house. Those stupid papers have been following me since before the king stuff even started. There's more in her dorm room, the one on floor 3? So if we're done talking about my papers, if there's nothing I can do for you, Sifrin? Nah, I'm good. I'll see you later then. Sounds like you could help Mirabelle with her problems if you went snooping a bit. If she needs help, maybe everyone else does too? Alright. So we'll go see Odile. Odile? Oh, Sifrin, you look rested. Glad to see you this laid back on the day before the end of the world. Anyway, how can I help you? Can I help you with anything? Do I need help with anything? Are you this bored, Sifrin? Odile seems to realize you're genuinely asking. Well... I'm looking for a certain type of book. A type of book, not a specific book? No, not a specific book. It's a type of book called a family tale. Have you heard of those? No, what is it? It's a book filled with tales written by a single family through generations. It's a tradition in Vogard. I've always wanted to read one, but since each family has theirs and it's something you're supposed to keep in one family and not show others, I was never able to touch, let alone read one. But I've heard that when a family dies off, the family tale might be taken by houses as a way to save those pieces of history. Huh, you didn't know that? And so you'd like a family tale of a family that died off? Yes. Huh. You never knew she was interested in that. Family taleology? Of a sort. Ah! So, will you help me? Yeah, of course. Thank you, Sifrin. Okay. I was planning to look in Dormont's library, but I have to buy some supplies, and I want to look inside Dormont's house, but who knows if we'll have time to search, so you just check the libraries at your disposal and see if you can find a family tale. So that makes Dormont's library, the house's, and the house's secret library, at least. Better start looking. Okay, I'll see you at the clock tower later, then. I'll figure the change god. It's been crafted to dance slightly. This one has a wide smile. Some little paintings animated by craft. You can see the shopkeeper along with some other people from Dormont. Okay, so we've seen this conversation. So Mirabelle was, Mirabelle escaped and got like a bunch of power, and she assumed that the change god blessed her, but it turned out that the head house maiden just like sent her power to Mirabelle as time was freezing in the area because Mirabelle happened to be closest to the door. So Mirabelle is not this chosen heroine. She's just the person who was best at running away, or just happened to be near the entrance when everything started going down. But we can rat on her for not being the chosen one. How would you react if she wasn't actually blessed by the change god? Huh? What do you mean? If she wasn't blessed by the change god, then it would mean the change god abandoned us, right? It would mean no hope for Vogard, right? Where's this coming from, anyway? You said this hypothetically, right? She's really blessed by the change god, right? Vogard will be saved, right? You get it now? Hypothetically, of course. Oh, okay. Whew! You had me worried for a second there. Oh, what a relief. You understand Mirabelle a bit better now. I keep trying to do like, gosh, what is the character? So I keep trying to do, like when I see Sifrin, I hear like Moxie from Hell of a Boss, or Zim from Invader Zim, like Richard Horvitz. I hear his voice, and so I'm trying to do it, but I just can't do a good Zim voice. I think I sound more like Dib, actually. Hee, I am fishing. I look like someone who liked fishing. Didn't catch anything last time, but maybe this time? Yes. We're gonna fish. This time for sure. Take the fishing pole, find the same lure you used before, check the fishing pole, throw it, and sit down and wait. Fishing time. Didn't catch anything? How did you manage to mess it up a second time? This fisherman is like screwing with us. You believe strongly, in quotes. Have you ever seen, if you've seen Groundhog Day, Bill Murray's character over the course of thousands and thousands of days that are exactly the same. He becomes like a guitar virtuoso, and like learns all these wonderful skills. Or was it piano? I think it's piano. And so by the end of it, like just on the next, when he finally gets out of the loop, like on the next day, he's just like this, like demigod. Let's check the library here. Is it? Oh, it is piano. Yeah. Oh, because there's a piano in the hotel lobby, I think. Why are you giving flowers away? Have you looked around my house? I can't get rid of them fast enough. That's why everyone in Dormont has some too. And it's just nice, isn't it? To be able to give physical proof of your love to people? Not really. You're letting the physical things fade too. Yeah, how would we do a, oops. How would we do a, like a rock, paper, scissors fishing minigame that would be appropriate for this game? Wizard-loving kid. We're gonna cast a frog spell on him. Habit. Yeah, you're too weird to be a wizard. Oh, it's some random lady who did piano lessons for kids in the neighborhood. Eventually he surpasses her and ends up just paying her to use the piano to practice on his own. It's funny. So it looks like some of the, oh, got a 4-pointed leaf. Yeah, what does this do? So it looks like some of the townspeople have new things to say to us now that we're in chapter 4. Or rather, we have new things to say to them. Potion Master is here and would like to say has watched your Fear and Hunger videos many a times. Hello, Potion Master. I'm stuck in a time loop and I need your strongest potions. Fish seem like they'd be a scissors or paper enemy with how they have those open mouths. But if their mouth is closed, are they rock? And then their fin could be paper. Bonnie. Hey friend. What do you want? Can I help you with anything? Help me? But I don't want your help. I want you to help you with anything. Now you're still hated, huh? You don't? I don't! You're stupid and you don't know me, so I don't want you to help me. I don't know you? You really don't, not even a little bit. You don't even know my 3 favorite foods, stupid. Ah. You're right, that is a crime. Yes, it is. Wait, you're making fun of me. See, that's also why. That's why I don't want to talk to you. Just go away. So mean. But Bonnie looks sad still. Okay, this is silly, but what if you could prove you do know their favorite food? Want something? Here, take this flower. And give me a flower. Why? Why not? Okay. Bonnie hesitantly takes the flower and stares at it intently. Did it make them happy? See the clock tower. Oh yes, I know the 4-pointed leaf is from Loop's tree, but I don't know if it does anything. Go over there and... Give it to him, maybe. Hey, Stardust. How can I help you on this wonderful new loop? That's great. Loop just being like, eh, what an idiot. Okay, this is the book fan. Last one you've seen is... Oh, is it just the... So we don't remember these across all loops, just across the last loop that we encountered, I guess. We did all this. I don't know that there's anything new here. Hi, Sammy. Okay, we did see this, yeah. Oh, this was to get that armor for her? I think so, yeah. Right. Huh? What happened? Huh? Mirabelle? She mentioned a bow in her letter, but the bow... Wasn't I just holding it? I can't remember. My head hurts. Oh no. We have to do something. It's right here, see? You point at the bow Mirabelle's wearing. Right there. It's right there. It's right here. Look at this bow, isn't it pretty? It looks wonderful. It does. Interesting. I wonder if she's, like, almost able to see the loops because of her, because she's a house maiden. Isabeau is here, looking out toward the house. Hey again, Sif. You looked like you were in a hurry earlier, so I left you alone, but is everything okay? You smile and nod. Sure, I'll believe you. What's up? Can I help you with anything? Do I need help with anything? Well, maybe kind of, but... Seems serious. Does he have a big problem he needs help with? You steal yourself. Okay, well... I'd rather you ask everyone else if they need help first. Mine might take some time. Huh, a task so long it might take a long time. Must be really important to him. You nod seriously. So serious. So, yeah, make sure you help everyone and do whatever you need to do first. Alright, so that's a start. We need to check the library here in town, but, so that's the shop. This one is an open phrase 231, is it? Or open phrase 123? Yeah. And it's not open phrase, is it? No, it's not changed. Stop! Stop! Stop Stop trying to unlock my door. Stop bothering me. I don't want you to come inside. I don't want you to talk to me. I don't know who you are. You could be someone dangerous. Or you could be with the king. Or I'm not like the rest of the village, acting like nothing's wrong and planning a party knowing we might all die. I don't want to be frozen. If I lock myself in, I'll be safe. So I'll stay in here. No one can hurt me. So go away. King's Curse doesn't care about locks. You decide to leave him alone. La Mignon Boulangerie. It's the cute bakery. Library. Welcome to the library. Well, our selection's kind of lacking. All the good books. Yeah, Any family tales? Family tales? Why would you even want to look at one? Aren't you from outside Vogard? Well, either way, we don't. We don't carry those here. I'm not sure where you'd need to look for one, but I feel like I've seen one recently. It's weird. Either way, the library in the house might help. If we go to the bakery, we will eat too much, and then we won't be able to enjoy Bonnie's food. Shark-shaped fish sticks. Okay, we got to this part. Nothing new. Called him a chicken. I just don't want to tell you right now. It might distract you. We wouldn't want that, right? So I'll tell you when we beat the king. Okay? That's what he was trying to tell you at the end, before you were forced to loop back. Never did hear what he had to say to you. Maybe if you went back to that time, after you beat the king. If you asked again, made sure you had no interruptions, maybe be able to hear it this time. Okay. So we need to help Bonnie by figuring out her favorite food. She has 3 favorite foods, and there are 3 floors, so I think we know what we need to do. We just need to go through all 3 floors. And get all 3 of the camp scenes, or the snack scenes, rather. We're all out of ketchup, and I don't feel like walking to the shops. Ketchup, you say? Did Mirabelle just forget she was wearing the bow, like when you forget your glasses on your face? The time loop stuff, the minor paradoxes that we've caused, most people don't seem to be able to perceive them. So she got a letter with a bow in it, and she's wearing a new bow. She's wearing the bow from the letter, and it just like briefly like reset her brain. So we leveled up a bunch just from showing up. Strange things are afoot at the Circle Key. Equipment, Cyphrin's levels, and also any memories that we have will jump people up to I guess that counts as equipment, but like memory, we have all of these. And then these basically just let people get abilities back and stuff that they aren't leveled up enough for. Also, anytime we reach a save point, the highest level that every character has been will be recorded at that save point. So if we need to ever load from a point, our characters will be basically, you never need to regrind for a single floor. Deals weak rock damage to one enemy, gives 2 jackpot points instead of 1. Oh, okay. Yeah, when Sif is in stasis, they just accept it now. It's like, whatever. I don't think there's anything we really need here on the first floor. Yeah, and there's still that language that gives us a headache. A little suspicious. Way to donate for a future game to stream? I would prefer to just play the games that I know I'm gonna want to play through. Because if I wind up like feeling like I'm obligated to play a game and I'm not really enjoying it, or it turns out to not be like great to stream, I would feel pretty bad about that. If you want to donate in general, that's there's the super chat or Patreon or membership, but those are just if you want to do that. Oh my god. Oh yes, Bryn is just like so over it now. Just like, yeah, I don't give a shit. It's all bullshit anyway. Who cares? Stupid ass adventure. Reason why Bonnie's eyes are like what? What are Bonnie's eyes like? Kinda everybody has differently drawn eyes. Like Sifrin has these really dark lashes and they're like the full eye drawn there. Mirabelle, the whites of her eyes are not drawn in. Isabeau's kind of drawn the same way. Odile is drawn like Sifrin. And Bonnie is just a little... I think it's just to make, you know, they're different people, they look different. That's just a kid! Who brought a kid here? Do I think I'll be interested in playing the non-canon prequel to this game once I'm finished with it? It's called Start Again. Yeah, I think I'm probably good. Unless there's some, like, major unanswered question that is solved by it. But no, I think I got it. I wasn't doing pissed, I was doing, Listen, friend, did you really hit the counter? And yes, I said, yeah, who cares? Whoa. Ren, are you? You angry? I was doing depression, not anger. Gives a shit, it's all bullshit anyway. Who cares? Kids have slit pupils because they are draconic in nature. Okay. I think the library is on the second floor, so we can just go up and get that now. I guess this is the... No, it's not. We're still in the first because we haven't beat the first boss yet. She's being orb. Thank you, Randall. She's a little circle, and she's laying next to my pillow. And I told her she wouldn't get fed until break time, which is probably soon here. But she's being good, yeah. Gorb. Speaking of orb of claws and teeth, look at this thing. Oh, I thought Zifrin was making that face when they were hurt, but no, they're just always making that face now. Oops, should hit the paper guy. I guess it doesn't matter. Why is everyone saying the beeping sleeper now? Where did that come from? Ooh, predictable creature. Don't you like stirring humans? Incredible that all you have to do in order to make people adopt your vocal tics and vocal stems is to spend 20 years getting good at piano and 10 years getting good at programming and work very hard every single day of your life and also be just generally funny. It's so human. Orange. And then hire a voice actor and put it in your game out of nowhere. I have some news for you if you think that Toby hired a voice actor. That's Toby making those sounds. As far as I'm aware, all of the voices in the game are Toby. Hey Worm, I binged all your Deltarune VODs recently after not consuming anything Deltarune since Chapter 2 release, and you cursed me with Delta Rot. It'll happen. Did y'all see the stuff in the newsletter that came out? Seems like the next chapter is probably coming out next year, and that 7 is also going to be a. Seems like 6 and 7 are going to be more shorter, more straightforward chapters, and might. They've kind of all been being worked on together. It hasn't just been like work on one and then work on the next one. So sounds like things are getting close. I keep saying it. It's not a game you want to wait for. It's a game you want to get on board with as soon as possible. Because this process of like being in between releases and thinking about it and having all of that kind of discussion is definitely an intended part of it. I liked the brief section of the newsletter about Kiki. She's like, if a cat's brain was put into a cat's body. Yeah. She sounds very, very special. I love Grub so much. Grub is a good girl and she's a baby. She just talks to me all the time. Like if she's like, if she's not asleep and I like say anything to her, she'll just go like back. She's always curious about what I'm doing. Oh, we gotta him with scissor. Deltarune ends, the real world roaring will happen. Yeah, probably. Does it still give us the all-out attack? It does. Does that break through? No, but it does heal everybody. Still worth it. Delta run? I think you missed an E there. That spells a different word. I keep thinking, like, so Deltarune is a story about, like, telling a story in negative space. Like, there's so much of the story that is talked around that it is like an exercise in like how to do that sort of thing. And people keep expecting, like, oh, we're gonna get all the answers about Gaster, and he's gonna be behind everything. It's like, man, I do not think so. I don't think that's what's going to happen. Like, I would be surprised if we ever saw him or spoke directly to him or anything. That doesn't mean we won't get any more information about him or what he's doing or what's going on, but the oh, I thought we were gonna... Chris turns directly toward the camera, takes off their mask, and reveals they were a small Pomeranian puppy the entire time. It makes so much sense. Deltarune is Toby's fever dream, but like for real. I like that he said he made Flowery because people kept misspelling Flowey as Flowery when Undertale came out and it was driving him nuts. So he's like, I'm gonna make a different character named Flowery just to mess with them. Okay, so we wanted to check out what was going on with Bonnie here and try to figure out what their favorites are of all of the foods. So Bonnie likes rice, huh? I'll take the banana chips. We haven't had those before. Do not make Bonnie sad. Thank you, Snack Leader, for this delicious meal. Well, I think the knight being somebody that's the kind of thing they'll answer because, like, that's an obviously, like... You know, the game is even like, oh, you think about the knight taking off their helmet. I think it's clear that, like, Chris knows who's under that helmet, or if anybody's... you know, if anybody's under there. If Gaster gets answers, then it won't be cool mysterious anymore. So, yeah, going back, I think I said this before, but, like, going back and looking at Undertale and what Gaster actually does in that story, and it's basically nothing. People often say, like, oh, he built the DT extraction machine. I don't think he did. There's no mention that I can find of him having built that. Alphys talks about having the idea to extract determination, and then she's like, but a monster couldn't survive that process, but I know what can, those human souls. So she borrows the human souls to do that with. So there's no, I don't think there's any implication that Gaster built that machine. We know that he built the core, which is like the power plant that runs the whole underground, which is, that's not nothing, but like... Wamo says, I thought he was cut content from Undertale. No, he was sort of more like Toby's idea to make an ARG, and then also like a reference to old stuff he had done in the Earthbound Halloween hack, which is not canon to the thing, and he would rather people not play it, but it was kind of a thing he had going there, and then it eventually just became like a way to tease Deltarune, because Undertale was like, I want to learn, that was Toby saying, I want to learn how to make a game by making a simple game so that I can go and make a complicated game. And so Undertale contains the seeds for Deltarune within it. Deltarune, the story was known at least to some extent before Undertale was began. Yeah, Gaster's in the game, but he has some crazy RNG. And like he doesn't say anything important to Undertale. And there are the Goners, and they give you some hints about Deltarune. And they also give you a little bit of Gaster's backstory and maybe some hints about the Undertale story, but not really much. If you go back and actually read through all of them, it's like, huh. So we saw the people with bonding earrings. And that's like when you get married or just you're in like a bonded couple, you get an earring that represents each other, like one for you and one for them, and then you each wear them. And we found a book about it, and we just decided to flip through it, which we've never done before. Do you not have those where you're from? You don't. We have bond earrings in Quebecois as well. Let me explain it for you, Sif. You see, Sif, when people love each other very much... Oh, I want to know what happens when people love each other very much. No one's ever told me. Isabel. Many things happen, and then maybe they'll decide to get bonded, spend a very long time together. When they do, they'll start making a pair of bonding earrings. They're supposed to symbolize the other person, so the design is very, very important. And if the bonding's between 3 or more people, you make as many earrings as there are people. And then you exchange earrings, so they'd each carry one of the earrings. I know it's not practiced everywhere, but it definitely is in Vogard. Not everyone does in Quebecois, but it's popular there as well. Not my kind of thing, though. Oh, so? Is that why you all wear earrings? Huh? What do you mean? You point at Mirabelle, Isabel, and Bonnie's ears. No! That's not why we wear earrings. Those are just regular earrings. Yeah, that's... My sister said I had to wear them. Well, this is very common for people to wear earrings, but it's not related. Mirabelle, Isabel, and Bonnie all look at each other. Is it related? I'm suddenly worried. I haven't met a lot of people without earrings, even if they're not bonding earrings. It's true that I know very few Vogardians without earrings. Is this why we wear them? As, like, a way to get us used to the idea at a young age? A thing we gotta do because adults said so? Evil manipulation to force us to get bonded as we age? Huh. I suppose every country has its weird, antiquated traditions. I guess so. It's kind of funny. Mirabelle seems genuinely upset at the idea. Maybe you shouldn't have brought it up. Say something. But your earrings all look very nice, though. You think so? You nod. Isabel hides his face. Anyway, your earrings are nice, Mira. They make you look very cute. I like my earrings because I can hang things on them. Yes, my earrings do look nice, and they were expensive. I'll throw them away dramatically another time. That's the spirit. You go see that frozen person again in a future loop. So Quenlin says Wingdings having hand gestures in it is why he's called the man who speaks in hands. So yeah, those people are like, oh, so the man who speaks in hands must be Gaster because there are some hand symbols in that, but like, must he? And like that's just a random thing, like a More Value says I think he fell into the core too. So the two things that we know that Gaster did. One is the he built the core. The core is just a power plant. It's a geothermal power plant that uses the lava, magma, whatever you call it, under the earth to power the whole underground. The other thing is that he discovered the darker than darkness that Ralsei describes as the Dark Worlds. And the music that plays in the opening of Deltarune is using the Gaster motif, I think. So it is, and also I believe the Deltarune demo was implied to be from Gaster. There's not a cut, but like an unused, and I say unused in quotes because it's intended to be data mined, message from Gaster that is like in the lab that's talking about like that he's found like negative photons and it's darker yet darker and certain things are starting to happen, and he says this next experiment will be very, very interesting, which is that's also something that Sham says. And I think it's more likely, because if you go back to what Gerson says in the Gerson fight, he says something about like the story became too big for the author, and he fell into. He says something like he fell into it. Let me see if I can find that dialogue actually. You ever hear that old tale? Yes, the old tale based upon the prophecy, the Lord of the Hammer. Think I heard about it? What happens? Chapter 1, The March of the Dark King. The heroes defeat the king and stop the dragon. Chapter 2, The City of the Shining. The heroes do battle in chariots to save the queen. Chapter 3, The Isles of Northern Light. The heroes travel among the islands and catch a glimpse of a lost land. Chapter 4, The Trials of the Holy Hammer. A great smith gives the heroes a terrible weapon. Chapter 5, The Field of Pink and Gold. The vast garden is charred in an inferno of jealousy. What happens next? Who knows? There was only one more chapter. After that, it all stopped. That next book, it never did get written. The story became so grand, so overwhelming. Some say it swallowed up the author himself. That does sound like it's saying he fell into his own creation. You know? That sounds very similar to me. I saw an idea that was like, Deltarune might be... So... Deltarune might be a way that Gaster tried to get the monsters out of the underground, because that was the thing everyone was working on, was like, how do we get out of the underground? And it's like, well, we can kill 7 humans. That just gets us out. That doesn't actually solve our problems, because then we still have to deal with the fact that there are however many humans outside who are not going to take kindly to a bunch of monsters showing up, especially if they killed 7 humans to get out. We know that humans are very powerful compared to monsters, and you know, even Frisk, like a little ass kid, is a pretty big danger to them. And so someone was like, well, what if Deltarune was a way that Gaster tried to solve the problem of the monsters being stuck in the underground by making it having never been a problem in the first place? And so it's just like this other world, and then problems start to arise because of that. But I don't know. Maybe they'll turn out to not really have a strong connection at all. Every Worm Girl stream is a Stealth Toby Fox Deep Lore stream. Well, it's just that I really like those stories. I think they're a lot of fun, and I want people to... Trap building, yeah, it's over on the left side. I want people to, you know, learn like analytical tools for like how to approach a piece of media, because people are always like, oh, you know, the device theory, the whatever theory, and like those can be fun to think about, but that's not real like story analysis. Real story analysis is like, what connections is the author drawing between different characters and different ideas? What is the you know, what is the purpose of saying this or showing us this at this point? What are they trying to convey? Like what sort of fits, right? I just want those juices that are up there. But, you know, Deltarune is written in a way that's meant to prompt a lot of that thinking, the, like, what is happening, what is going on thinking, because it's taking advantage of it's taking advantage of the delay between releases. And that's a great use of the format, right? If you want people to stay engaged over time, because you can't deliver the entire game in one release, because that would take far too long, you can do things like that, and you can really work with the... It's one of those things where, like, limitations often provide more, more of a, they often give rise to more creative solutions than freedom does. It's Me, a boy says, this game theory and the like kind of killed media literacy. I mean... It is funny to say that. I don't think game theory is actually responsible for doing that. I think what it is just that I'm in my 30s, like my late 30s, and so I went through the process of being a teenager and just liking things because I liked them, and then being 20 and starting to think I was smart, but I wasn't actually smart, and starting to try to come up with all of these ideas, and I didn't really have like a good like not just academic, but like a good like critical framework for talking about things. And then I went out and made art for a couple of years, and I went to college and I did all those things, and I got back and then I started doing you know, more serious media analysis and stuff, and eventually got to a point where I was like, okay, well, I think I actually have some skills here. And then people who are 17 are like, I'm gonna make a YouTube video, and like, yeah, that's nothing wrong with that, but like the fact that I live in the same ecosystem as a 17-year-old sometimes makes it feel funny, like what is even going on here? Not that I'm any kind of a genius or anything, I'm just like, the stuff I'm going to talk about is usually going to be different than the stuff that a teenager's going to talk about, and then that's not just me, that kind of goes for everybody. Okay, so this is the, now you understand the context of this conversation. This was the person with the bonding earrings. Their fist is closed as if they're holding something. Could it be? You try to get it out. Sif? What are you... Hand is frozen in time, but you managed to get the item out. It's a dark earring, same design as the one they're wearing on their left ear. You got the bonding earring. Put the earring in your pocket along with your souvenirs. Oh my. Oh crap, that's the other half. They didn't give it to their partner yet? We have to find their partner. And give them the earring. Time to find their partner. Okay, so we need to find... We need to find their partner. Is there anything new in these other books now, actually? No. What do I think of the Rudy Knight theory? I mean, he seems like a pretty plausible case, because if you go back, there do seem to be hints about it. I thought it was a joke, and then I saw what appeared to be a joke video that was just like a supercut of all the times that Rudy said something that made it seem like he was like saying it to Chris with like a wink and a grin. And, you know, like in chapter 2, he's like, why are you bringing a girl like Susie around here, Chris? You should take her to the movies. And, you know, what do they do that very night? They go to TV Land, and, you know, I guess I'll see you at church tomorrow, Chris. Isn't that all right? You know, just stuff like that. But at the same time, it's also a pretty funny red herring. Because, again, I said this about Asgore, but there's something funny about, like, a dad getting involved in, like, teen adventures. Like even, like, life or death adventures that a dad should be involved in. Like, how funny would it have been if the knight showed up and then Asgore just, like, beat the brakes off of it? Like, just... I might be divorced, but that's still my kid. Also, the idea that Rudy... There's an interesting idea there, not that this is like, oh, this means it must be true, but like if I was writing a story and I had a character who was sick, and I had a world where you could make all your wildest dreams come true in a way that is maybe not that healthy, my first thought would be like, oh, well, okay, I gotta make the sick guy do the thing. But then you gotta think, like, what if the being the knight is what's making him sick, right? Like, what if he's using some kind of crazy dark world power and it's just like eating his light world body apart and eating his body apart. What is that? You know, there's fun stuff to think about there. But also, I think what they're going to go for is Noelle's going to open a fountain, or Susie's going to open a fountain to try to save Rudy. And that's going to be what the Angel's Heaven is. And if that's the case, then I feel like the knight is probably Noelle. Or not Noel, Des. Chapter 6 will probably make or break the Rudy Knight theory. Yeah, so I think Chapter 6 is going to be the big tragedy in the story that causes the... It's because if you know like the 3-act story structure, the first act is like the adventure begins, and then you have a challenge, and then the characters surpass that challenge, and then they're like, okay, now at the end of the first act, we're going to be on to the next thing. And then in the second act, they reach a new height of their power, but then they come across like the biggest drawback, and that's like if you think about like the Empire Strikes Back, you know, that story, it seems like things are going pretty bad, and then you know, and then the third act you come and you bring it all home. So it seems like it's like the end of a second act, right? Like it's... I wouldn't say hero's journey type stuff. No. That's like nonsense. The hero's journey idea is a book written in the 50s by a guy who was just really up his own ass, and he did the cardinal sin in academics, which is where you think of an idea and you decide at a glance that it makes sense. Interesting. So previously they mentioned, I kind of skipped that text there, but previously colors had been mentioned as like, oh, color theory. This book's about color theory. And then Isabeau was like, colors, what are those? And Mirabelle was like, we got to keep moving. Like, she didn't want to keep talking about it, but the conversation went on further this time, and it seemed like colors actually don't exist in this world, and they used to. So it's the black and white is diegetic, and something happened, and all the colors are gone. But the hero's journey thing is like, so this guy, I forget his name, but he was like, oh, okay, so there's this story, and this story is like what the Jesus story is, right? Like it's like it's the Gilgamesh story, and he looks at like a handful of stories where a guy goes out on a quest to enter the world of the gods and like bring back this like piece of immortality, and he kind of has to give it up in a way that helps everybody else, and then that's what makes him the hero. And you know, you can read that in the Jesus story. It's definitely in the Gilgamesh story. And then he was like, okay, and he came up with like 5 or 6 big myths that had it, and then he had the hypothesis this must be a really common thing that's all over the place, and all cultures do this, and it's like a basal level story that is just instinctually told by humans. And so he then went to a bunch of he started reading about a bunch of different cultures and like indigenous people and stuff, and wasn't finding that his hypothesis bore out. So he started really twisting the his interpretation. And this book it gained traction in like the 2010s because of like Jordan Peterson and stuff, because it and of course you know, George Lucas like used it to write Star Wars, which is fine. Like if you want to say like, oh, there is this kind of story that exists that seems to be pretty popular sometimes, and here are the steps to do it. Like if Lucas wants to consciously do that, that's one thing, but like to do like bad not archaeology, the other thing, study of cultures, anthropology, to do like bad anthropology, trying to kludge all that together just in support of your hypothesis is not good. And but yeah, with like Jorp and stuff, it became like a this is why Western culture is the preeminent and best culture and the ideal one and the pure one, and all of these other cultures are just corrupting it and trying to destroy it because they don't have this good kind of story, or they don't tell it right, or whatever. It's just it's this very stupid like fashy thing that is really irritating. Just really irritating. through the titles, mumbling each one under your breath. Lost Inland, The History of Pepper, What to Do When You're Sad, There's No Chocolate on. Ah, here at the very bottom. Pepper's Family Tale. Where? Papa what now? Who checked it out? Someone called Charles Choquette. Charles Choquette? Oh, that's the boulanger in Dormont. Does he have a book you want, Madame Odile? So he has it. The boulangerie in Dormont, huh? They sold croissants, if you remember correctly. I'll have to check it out after we beat the king and before I go away. Huh? What are we talking about? What about you, Saffron? You were looking around. Did you find the book you were looking for? Huh? A book? Are you both looking for a book? I was, but it's fine. Hey, are you ignoring us? What's happening? Is this another secret quest? If you say it's fine, then it is. Let's get going, everyone. Mirabelle and Isabeau look at each other and sigh. So the boulanger in Dormont might have checked out A Family Tale. You should go back to Dormont and let Odile know. Yeah, and all that stuff about archetypes, the, so, and this is, I'm always like, I hate Jung, and especially I hate Jungian psychologists because they are like the kings of doing this. They're like chiropractors, where it's like, let's say, like, if you've ever met anybody who's like, into chiropractic, it's somehow, it cures everything, and it's always the answer for everything, and everything fits into this kind of weird mythology regarding chiropractic. It's very strange. And Jungian psychology works the same way, and it's partly because it's like a bit of a not a rhetorical trap, but like an ideological trap, or that's not even the right word. Maybe it is a rhetorical trap. It's like it gives you. It's like, oh, every single thing that humans talk about breaks down into these very simple little ideas that are universal to humanity. And these simple ideas are so simple that it's like astrology, where you can just keep it just vague enough that it can kind of always fit. The only good chiropractor is actually a physical therapist. Yeah, because physical therapy is rooted in empirical results and like not hurting people. So we're looking for the other person. It's like another frozen guy. Snake oil cures all. Yeah, and if they tell you it's a cure-all, then it's a cure none. Is the other person with the other bonding earring in one of these directions? Does anybody... I know a couple of you have played. Does anybody know if they're in one of those directions, up or down there? Or are they back by the entrance or something? Oh, well, yeah, Jungian is... I don't even want to say it's interesting narratively. It's more like it's like if you... I mean, it's exactly the same as astrology, where it's like, oh, like let's tell a story where every character is a certain zodiac sign. We base all their traits off of the traits of that sign. Wouldn't that be fun? And like, sure, you can do that, but like, it's not that interesting after the first time you've seen it. Family members that believe essential oils actually cure everything. Yeah, that's another big one. So we need the crest, which is in one of the storage rooms, I think, which is to the left. Pottery room. Oh, that might be right. We can go check there. I think the other person is on floor 3. Is the pottery room on floor 3? No, it's not, is it? I'm losing my mind. He's yelling about bad science for too long. And I'm like a big Freud defender. He obviously wasn't right about a lot of things. I think his, you've probably heard about the stages of psychosexual development and how obviously sexist that all comes across as and stuff. And it is, but it's like, if you can look at him in the context of his time and try to figure out where he might have been on to something, there are some very funny and cool breakthroughs he made that we kind of really haven't ever done better than. And I've said this before on stream, but his stuff about dreams is really, really cool. And I'm not aware of a better suggestion for what they might be. We were up this way, we got the key from there, this is the... Okay, so we just gotta go back down all the way to the right and get the crest. Yeah, so the talk therapy thing is also very interesting. Psychotherapy fell out of favor in the 80s and 90s as cognitive behavioral therapy took over, and the thought at the time was that cognitive behavioral therapy was the good thing, and that psychotherapy was mostly quackery. Psychotherapy is when you just sit there and you talk to the therapist, and they rather than trying to like guide you through like better conditioning, they just try and get you to sort of see what's going on like psychologically with yourself by letting you come to the conclusions that are probably more obvious to them from the outset. But what's funny is cognitive behavioral therapy has become statistically less effective over time, and people were like, what is going on? Like, how could that be? And what's actually happening is so neither method works for everybody. Some methods do work better for people just based on how they think and what they're, just what kind of a person they are. But if you're familiar with a therapeutic method, it is less likely to work on you. And so because CBT became the standard, it started working less well because people were kind of able to see through it when they were in therapy. And so now it's like, I'm not a professional in that field, obviously, but now the impression that I have is that it's becoming more like therapists are starting to say which of the two, and I'm not aware of any other really big ones, but they're like, which of these is going to work better for which patient, rather than just being like, oh, this one's quackery and this one is real. CBT, yeah, CBT. Cognitive behavioral torture. Dialectical behavioral therapy is the third big one, but I don't know what makes it different. Huh. The immortal science of Karl Marx. Brains are different. Different people need different things, case by case style. Absolutely, yeah. Also, I always say this, you gotta respect that Freud was like, he had nothing to go off of. That's not to say that there weren't other people working in what would eventually become called psychology, you know, like kind of behavioral studies and developmental studies and stuff, but in Freud's day, he had nothing. Like, there was nobody, there wasn't like a field he could point to and say like, oh, I want to be a psychologist when I grow up. He was just like was he a doctor? I think he was a medical doctor. And he just started seeing people and then trying to figure out how to help them with like emotional problems, and started putting together these theories about like how trauma and how trauma can kind of freeze you in place during development and stuff. Go down for the key. That's funny that it reminds us. Close up, my young archetypes are kind of dumb, but kind of interested. We're thinking conceptually the collective unconscious is an interesting idea with narrative potential. Well, the thing about the collective unconscious is it's not that there's nothing to it. Like, we're all part of a global culture, right? Like, whether you want to be or not, you live in the world. You've read a book. You speak languages that have been invented and used by people that aren't you. You have heard music that you didn't make. And that does something to not just the that does something to like the way you conceptualize some very basic things, and that you probably have in common with a lot of other people. Like, for example, pretty much everybody on Earth has some idea of what a dragon is, and they're all pretty much the same, even though there's never been any such thing as dragons. Everybody kind of knows about the powerful flying reptile thing that is magical or breathes fire or something like that. And you can say like, oh, well, the Asian perception of a dragon is different than the European one. Sure, but like, they both had them, and they're both the same thing on a basic level. How did two people invent the telephone at the same time? That is a funny one. Didn't that also happen with radio? And it happened with calculus. Happened several times, actually. I think it's just there are times when the world is kind of ready for an invention, like the pieces are all in place for it to emerge. Airplanes too. I wasn't familiar with the airplanes one. I believe it, but evolutionary theory too. Yeah, that one was kind of, you can kind of see how that happened, because the sciences had gotten to a point where they were starting to be standardized. The Victorian era is kind of when the science went from a thing that was like like kooky rich guys did in their spare time to a thing that was just like a academic pursuit that had a standard set of guidelines and both national and global organizations that kind of worked together. And kind of world travel was happening at the same time, and you had the taxonomists who were going around and cataloging all of these animals and saying like, oh, well, this lives here and this lives here. And it's not a big jump from there to saying like, hey, why do gulls look like this over here and this over here? It's not quite the same animal, but it is obviously almost the same animal. and then you start digging up, you know, fossils, and it's like, oh, this is... it feels like an inevitable discovery, I guess I should say. Machining, yeah. Machining's one of those ones where, like, if you don't come up with it, someone will, and they'll take over your country. I was just thinking earlier about the Tanegashima musket that the Japanese invented. They were... Oh well, so last time we killed the other one, and then it like hurt itself to protect this one. This time we attacked the short-haired one, and then it killed the other one to heal itself. So that's different. But those muskets were the Portuguese were trading with the Japanese, and they did not want to let the Japanese like get a hold of a musket, because then they would obviously figure out how to use it. And the Japanese were like, if we don't figure out how to make guns, we are going to get colonized. And it's just a matter of time. So there was this very strong push to do it, and I believe it was like a single guy made like drawings of the very small mechanisms that operate the flintlock, like the lock device, which is like the little like ratcheting flint piece that pops down and strikes the thing and sets the powder in the pan alight, and that fires the charge inside the barrel, which propels the ball out of the musket. But those pieces are so small, and they have to be made so precisely that even if you looked at it for a long time and somebody told you how it all worked, you wouldn't just be able to go home and make that, both because you need really high quality steel, you need just a really good understanding of how those parts come together. So, slow him. Like, the fact that they were able to do that is a really, really cool piece of, like, engineering history, but it's also... they had to do that. It was either that or get conquered. So, sometimes things in history that seem like, wow, I can't believe that happened. It's like, well, that was the only choice. You can give a turn to her. Rendering besoin as want rather than need. Who did that? John. My take is that if people were hard on Lamarck because... Oh, yes, because of how his paper got translated into English. I see. Yeah. I haven't read Lamarck's stuff directly, and I didn't realize there was a translation issue. But also, Lamarck eventually had his day, because we know about epigenetics now. If you don't know Lamarck, he was also a proponent of evolution, but he his writing was either was or was taken to mean that, like, creatures would evolve based on things that happened to them during their lifetime, rather than based on whether they lived long enough to reproduce. So, like, if you... the classic idea is, like, if you work out a lot, you'll have strong children. It's like, no, that's not how that works, but a person who is more inclined to work out a lot might have children who are more so, but it's one of those cause and effect things. Eat shit, Bell. In this house, we believe in Antonio Meucci. People sometimes forget that Beretta is like 500 years old, going to evolve big thumbs from playing video games. Epigenetics is like a watered-down version of Lamarckism, because most epigenetic markers are not passed down in most cases, usually extreme situations. Yeah, and there's also contact with viruses can rewrite chunks of your DNA, and I think that gets passed down, so they can tell in some cases when a population has had like a viral epidemic in the past because they can still see traces of that virus, like in the so-called junk DNA. So this time, throw my ashes to the sky. Wink. All right, we got snack 2. I really want to see what happens if we try the pineapple, because we are allergic to pineapple and will die. But I feel like we are on a mission to get through the You know, adults are stupid. Huh? We like to think about every possible thing that can happen, even though it probably won't. I don't know what you're talking about. I wasn't listening earlier. You don't say anything. But what if everyone... We won't. But you don't know that. I do. I won't let anything happen, Bonnie. I promise. Okay. I promise too. I won't let anything happen either. Bonnie smiles confidently. You smile back. Okay, we got a new memory. If Kid has a memory promise equipped, they'll be more likely to buff everyone's stats during battle. Okay. Bonnie seems ready for the journey ahead. Here we go, left. I think we can give the... Someone frozen in time. Oh, that's... earrings. Is supposed pointing at the dark earring with the same design as the person from before. Same earring. The partner, and they only have one earring. I have to give them the earring. And know so they can find each other. Ah! Calm down, you two. Sorry, this is just so romantic. We're doing this. We're helping. Zephyr, the earring, please. Smiling, you give Mirabelle the earring. Isabel, I have it. Wait, where should we put the note? Spear the note to their ear with the earring, maybe? Note earring? Note earring. Then make a note earring telling the frozen person where to meet their partner. I'm getting a little emotional over here. Me too. I hope they'll find the note and get to meet. Considering how the note is attached to their ear, I think they'll notice. They look stupid. Looking stupid is nothing in the face of true love. Isabel, you're so right. Wow, love wins. We did it, everybody. We did note earring. Portrait time. At least Sifrin still smiles for the photo. It's easier to grow gills and delete them than to mutate the entire sequence such that we never grow them at all. Oh yeah, that's a so there's some really interesting principles in evolution. And yeah, how body parts are lost is really interesting. There's so if you look at like seal skeletons and whale skeletons, they still have well, seals kind of still have legs a little bit, but there's still like hip bone remnants inside of whales, kind of near their pelvis, even though they no longer have any leg structures. But if you look at snakes, there is, I believe, there's not such a thing in most snakes, and the reason is it benefited whales to have reduced and then non-present legs, but it didn't really benefit them to take it further than that. So there are still little vestigial leg structures in there, whereas snakes have had such a really long time to go around not having legs that they eventually did somehow stumble across that thing, and so it outlines this like tendency in evolution where like birds will become flightless, but they'll still have these like vestigial wings for a really long time until there's some pressure to fully lose them. There's a bunch of interesting stuff like that. There's also like if you lose the body structure fully, you are unlikely to re-evolve it, like very unlikely. We don't have this door code, which is pretty interesting. Like I think kiwis don't really have wings anymore. Like there's not even like a kind of a nub or anything in there, so it's unlikely that they would grow a new set of forelimbs ever in the future. They're probably like a beak and two legs guy for the rest of their evolutionary future. Snakes do have a teeny tiny pelvis, but it's way more vestigial than it is for whales. Yeah, and I think with seals, there's actually quite a bit more stuff there. I'd have to see more of the more of whatever I was reading about that. But also, a lot of what we consider to be vestigial just has a function that we don't understand. Like our appendix was, for a very long time... Why read when you can have people recite things instead? It was for a very long time thought to be a vestigial structure from our ancestors, but it's actually now thought that the appendix is useful for maintaining your gut flora. Because if you have like diarrhea, it gives your gut flora basically a place to hide until the flood subsides, so that you can very quickly get your gut flora reestablished after a such an event. What do we think about legless lizards? Are they posers? What's going on? We don't have the thing. Yeah, legless lizards are family order. Kings play chess on. Order Squamata? I think it's an order. Yeah, they're still in the lizard group, but they have lost their legs because they had to be really little guys to go around in the underbrush And the legs just kind of get in the way. Or they burrow. We need to mimic a fraction of our power. Unexpected topic for Wormgirl stream, but reasonable for an earthworm. Yeah, one of them is called a worm snake, and it looks exactly like an earthworm. Until you look really closely and you realize it has a little face. The snake is the poor man's worm. I feel like snakes are a lot harder to come by than worms. I know they're like of maybe less immediate value to human industry. Worm of the proletariat. That's like something you'd read about in like one of Lenin's letters. Calling some guy the worm of the proletariat. Where would we get our snake oil without them? Fresh squeezed. Single process cold press snake oil. Ah, whoops. Okay, well that's the end of that. In poetry, they call it a question ending. In poetry, they call it a cliffhanger. No, they don't. Okay, we read this book already. So I went the wrong way, and that's kind of fine. We can just pop back out to town because we have the book that... Yes, the book that Odile needs is in the bakery. Have I been a class trader this whole time? No. If you're eating a rotten apple, your stomach hurts already. No, I have to say I'm not a class trader. Hey Mira, have you thought about doing a sleepover tonight? Oh, I was actually just thinking about it. What do you think? Absolutely, I'll let everyone know. You're right. We don't have a moment to lose, but... Wait, do you know where everyone... Talk to you later, Mira. Okay. Make sure Mirabelle knows how to shield all of you against the king. You tell her about the carrot method, whatever it is, she'll be able to cast it. Oh, this makes so much sense. Hey, want to buy something? You show your only silver coin. For one of those, you can get a third of a pastry. But, aren't you one of the saviors traveling with little Mirabelle? Don't worry about a thing, then. Can I get you anything on the house? Do you have any pain au chocolat? We've seen all this. I want to know about your book that you have. Am I not able to ask him about the book? Maybe I need to talk to Odile? Oh, I've heard the Boulangerie has one of those. What? 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 Huh? Really? She doesn't seem to know how to react. You look at her repeat the same words over and over again. Siffrin, will you come with me to ask them if I can borrow it? It might take some time. So make sure you have time to help me. I have time now. Thank you. Let's go then. You and Odile are now hanging out. You should head to the lingerie. Hey there. Hello. We've heard you may have a family tale. A family tale? Of a family called Paparas. If you'd be okay with it, I'd like to borrow it for a little bit. Ah, the one I borrowed from my girl before the house froze. I'm not a very good writer. So I figured reading another one would give me some inspiration for stories to tell my little girl. Do you have it still? I do not. What? You know Antoine, maybe? He lives at the east of town in the house with no flowers. So asked if he could borrow it. They knew the Paparas family, you see. Couldn't really refuse. The Paparas family died only a few years back, after all. Well, that sucks. Do you know if he still has it now? I don't see why they wouldn't. I have a sudden bad feeling about this. The house to the east of the village with no flowers, huh? Looks like we should go pay them a visit. Oh, hello. Oh, that's a fella. Antoine, is it? That sure is me. And you're one of the two saviors, aren't you? Thank you for all you're doing. Best of luck for tomorrow. Thank you. We had a favor to ask. Could we borrow the family tale you possess? For an hour, maybe? Oh, the Paparas family tale. I know this means a lot to you, so... Oh, no, that's not the problem. I'd be happy to lend it to you, but... I think one of the kids next door stole it from me. What? What? Oh, I'm not saying they're bad kids. They're very nice kids. Very nice. They're just... Well... You know the three kids outside? A few weeks ago they passed by to help me cook some things, and... Well, the book's gone now. So we should go talk to those kids. We'll get that book, Odile. Let's just go, alright? Pew pew! Kids. Middle kid with a small hat looks at you from the rock throne. Adults? What do you want? Siffrin, you handle this. You? Why me? You're closer to being a kid than I am. Good luck. Okay? Do you know about family tales? Yeah? What kind of adult doesn't know about family tales? Are you stupid? No, you can't ask adults if they're stupid. Can't I? Look at it. They're short, their hair looks unbrushed, and they look like they haven't slept in weeks. And that hat definitely looks stupid and not cool. Siffrin, this kid is destroying you. Do something. On principle, you don't get into fights with kids. Anyway, do you know about a Paparas family tale? Manon, I think he's asking about... Shut up. I got this. The middle kid looks at you as disdainfully as they can, which is a lot. What if we do? We'd like to borrow it. Trade. A trade. We have something you do not. Knowledge. offer us something in exchange. I have a flower. No, you don't. You don't actually have it on you in this loop. Oops. I have a silver coin. 2 silver coins. You sadly show the single coin you have in your possession. What kind of adult only has 1 coin? Are you broke? Denied. Here, have 5. 10 silver coins. 4, and I won't tell your guardians that you stole a book. Yeah, okay, deal. Okay, so, Manon doesn't have the book anymore. What? Listen, Charlene was being really annoying about wanting it, so I gave it to her so she'll stop crying, okay? Who's Charlene? Charlene Choquette? The boulanger's daughter. The what? You can't help but laugh. Look at that old lady's face. Sifrin. You jump. We are going. You nod rapidly and follow. Bye, adults. Let's play again soon. Oh, Sifrin, Madame Odile. On a secret quest again? Again, huh? Oh, sorry. I feel like I've seen you two go on secret quests very often. Like, literally every time we stayed in a town or village. Isabeau and I always wondered where you were going. Ah, that's right. You and Odile used to visit antique shops every time you went to a new place. Neither of you ever asked what the other was looking for. Come to think of it, she was probably looking for a family tale. Are you two betting on it? On what our secret quests are about? Oh, I would never bet on anything. It goes against my moral code, madame. But Isabeau will read a horror book of my choice if the guess is right. Oh no, you're not going to tell me what your secret quests are now that I've said we're betting on it. We'll see you later, Mirabelle. No! No, come back! Talk to our party members. Oh, you guys look thick as thieves, as usual. You on a secret quest again? Indeed we are. Good for you. Nothing like a secret quest to make life worth living. I'm so jealous. I'd love to go on a secret quest, too. Let's go on a secret quest before we part ways, yeah? Oh, I'd love to. A secret quest with you could be fun, Isabeau. Huh? Oh, with you, Madame Odile. Yes, that's exactly what I meant. I definitely meant going on a secret quest with you because you are also standing right here. Yes. Please don't look at me. Uh-huh. We have to talk to the baby. Meh. Oh, hey, Dion. Boniface. Did you find some good stuff for tonight? Not much. I did find some flour, though. I know we were running low. Yes. Why are you with Fred? Was the flour too heavy? I could have helped. Zipper and I have things to do. Oh, can I help? I want to help. We're looking for a book. With words in it. No pictures. I am so sorry I cannot help, Deal. I wish you all the best in your future endeavors. I will also stay here and do my important things, like look at this field. Thank you for your support, Boniface. The kid looks up at you. No time, Sifrin. Wave goodbye now. You wave goodbye. The kid waves back happily. You're never gonna get drawing. Wait, not over here. We want to go here. Hi. Hello. What? Hey. Please do not scare my daughter, madame. You get in front of Odile and smile at the girl. Hi. Hi. We've heard you've got a cool book. A book? Oh, yes. From Manon. Manon is so nice, she gave me the book. The book with the nice stories. Dad was reading it, and now it's mine, and I can read it all by myself, but it's boring. I want another book, Papa. Wait, which book are you talking about, Charlene? This one. She shows you a book with Paparaz's family tale written across it. I'm so sorry. It's fine. You got the Paparaz family tale, finally. You both find a nice silent place to talk. I can't believe this took this long. But finally. Odie looks at the closed family tale book intently. Aren't you going to read it? They said I could keep it until I leave Dormont, so I have time, but... She's still looking at it. The family tale book you spent so much time trying to find. Seems important to her, but why? Is it related to your research? Sorry, what? The book, is it related to your research? Well, I suppose I've kept it secret long enough. Don't tell Isabeau, all right? There is no research. I'm not researching anything. Huh? Sorry for not saying anything. Isabeau just said I must be researching something since I was a traveler here in Volgard. And it felt easier to not say anything. So then why did I leave Quebecois? Travel for years? All to find myself in Volgard, if not for some intellectual pursuit? Well, I'm actually here in Volgard to find out more about myself. I suppose it's not very apparent to you, but my mother was Volgardian. Oh, I lived my whole life in Quebecois. My father was Quebecois and my mother was Volgardian. I have no idea how they met. He never told me, but all I know is that she never wanted a child. She left very early in my childhood, and I never saw her again. Good riddance, if you ask me. But she left, and she didn't leave anything behind. No pictures, no letter, no family history. But what does it matter, right? My father was a good man, and Quebecois was my home. I used to think I didn't need to know about my history, about Volgard. But still, a part of me was curious. And one day, a few years ago, a Volgardian merchant showed me her wares, and this book that she wouldn't dare let go of. A book of tales written by her whole family, a family tale. She explained family tales to me, generations of Volgardian parents writing stories for their children and writing them down in a book. So you'd end up with stories written by an entire lineage. And she was explaining the way the book was written, the rules of this particular way of telling stories, how friendly families shared their stories with each other, and how it had been done for generations. How it brought her closer to her family, her ancestors, her culture. And while she was explaining all of this to me, she suddenly stopped. And I was surprised to find out she stopped because I was crying. I didn't even realize it. Because I wanted this. This connection that she had to a history that was also supposed to be mine. But it was stolen from me because my mother left. And I've never had a link to this culture. Ever. Unless I went there. So this is why. So I traveled to Volgard, and, well, the king took over shortly after I arrived, which did make things more difficult. But during my travels with you all, I got to know many Volgardians and see many Volgardian cities. I got to learn more about the country, its culture, its faith, its people, and I look and I learn, and this is the country my mother came from. It's half of me, but still, even now that I'm here in Volgard, I feel no connection to it whatsoever. I don't recognize myself here. Isn't that strange? Half of me should be from here, isn't it? Shouldn't I see something of myself here in the place that my mother came from? Shouldn't it be like looking in a mirror? Like a revelation? Shouldn't I see how Volgardian people act, how they think, and be able to say, ah, so this is why I'm like this? Shouldn't I be able to call this place mine? But I can't. And it feels awful, like my roots have been cut off without my consent. Like my mother stole it from me, like I really don't belong anywhere. But this is why I'm here still, to know as much as I can about this country. And in the meantime, find out if it'll make me find out more about myself. And I did find out more about myself during this journey, so I'm glad. It is an interesting question, is it not? How much do you carry of your country, of a culture that should have been yours, but wasn't? It may not seem so to you, but to Quebecois, my features are foreign. Just small things, my hair being slightly too thick, my brows too thin. Enough for me to look different here. I am other, so... What about Volgardians? Would they see me as one of theirs? Would I find myself in them? After coming here, I found out that no, of course not. Why would I? I've never been here before this journey, but at the same time, I am not the only one who is other. In fact, Volgard is filled with people who also come from other lands. Volgard welcomes people from all over the world, after all. So even if I did not find someone like me, I have found Volgard to be full of people that are similar to me, and I'm very grateful for that. Odile is half Volgardian. You never knew. She traveled halfway across the world to find out more about herself, trying to see if she'd find herself in a country she has no memory of. What about you, Siffrin? Are you finding out more about yourself in Vogard? Huh? What do you mean? Well, you didn't grow up in Vogard either, right? Do you have roots here? Or were you just passing through? My apologies. Figured I asked. I didn't say anything. You didn't need to. Your face said it all. Just because I'm telling you personal facts about myself doesn't mean you need to tell me anything in return. It was wrong of me to ask. You can forget about it. She goes back to looking at the Family Tales cover. She'd probably be fine leaving it here, just bearing her story to you and nothing else, but you... I don't remember much about where I'm from. Odile turns to look at you. Huh. Were you too small when you left, or was it because there was nothing worth remembering? Everything was worth remembering. Neither. But I can relate to you. Trying to find pieces of yourself wherever you can. Trying to find where you belong. Trying to find how your roots might have shaped you. Which parts of you created and which parts you already were. You nod. But you know you're not only made of where you come from, right? If that was the case, everyone in Cowboy would be the exact same, and everyone in Vogard would be the exact same. Where you're from matters, yes, but it's not the only thing that makes you you. And that's what I realized during this journey, Siffrin. I'm Cowboyan and Vogardian in ways I do and don't realize. And I'm also myself. One might say it's more important than being Cowboyan and Vogardian, wouldn't you agree? I do. That's interesting. Feel so much lighter now. Because you found a family tale? Yes, and also because we talked, Siffrin. Oh. Thank you for listening to me, Siffrin. You blush and nod. Now get out of here. I have a family tale to read before we all meet for our sleepover. We'll talk later. We'll have fun. Odile smiles at you mischievously. You got a memory of a secret quest. You'll always remember this. When equipped, memory of a secret quest boosts all of your researcher stats by 30. Wow. She also learned the skill Craft Break Alpha. Craft Break Alpha is amazingly strong. When used, it makes an enemy weaker to all craft types for a few turns. It's so strong, you'll only be able to use it when you and your researcher have had this exact conversation. So if you loop back to Dormont, you'll have to talk to her all over again. Remember that, okay? You get up and leave, waving goodbye. Oh, Shiroi. All right. I think that's a good enough place to end it for today. We've got to get one more favorite food from Bonnie, so we'll need to finish floor 3. And then we've got to do... we've got to do whatever Mirabelle wanted to do, which I forget what it is now. Good night, everybody. I will pet the grub. Grub, do you want your paste? Do you want to eat dinner? She woke up immediately when I said that. Come here, baby. Come say hi. Come say bye-bye to chat for me. Come here. Come here. Come on. Come on. You want up? Come on, Mama's up. Come here. Grab. Come here, baby. Hi. Hi, baby. Say hello. Yeah. Did you paste? Want your chicken paste? Meow. Do you want chicken or do you want sea bass? Want chicken? Okay. Good night, everybody.